You know her? You almost certainly despise her, the one and only Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Joe Biden's 5 million illegal aliens are on the verge of replacing you, replacing your jobs, and replacing your kids in school. And coming from all over the world, they're also replacing your culture.
These are terrorists. These are criminals. They're people that pour out of jails and mental hospitals in foreign countries. They're people here coming to compete with Americans for jobs. They are people bringing in diseases, all kinds of diseases.
Imagine being a mother and you can't let your children go play outside in the yard because there are people that you don't know who they are invading your country, coming across your property, and imagine what they could do to your kids. Imagine being a woman and you're just trying to get your groceries out of your car to carry them in the house, and you are faced with men who don't even belong in your carport, and that's where they are because they invaded our country.
President Trump will do that, and he will start mass deportations on day one, and I can't wait to see it happen.
Looking forward to the next administration where we're going to have the largest deportation system that's ever been witnessed in human history.
That's really not something to brag about considering your competition, but this is who she is and the type of people she represents.
We are honored, we are humbled and excited to welcome to the stage right now for our first speech, and we love to get to know her much better. I think this is going to be the beginning of something great. The representative from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
We need to be the party of nationalism, and I'm a Christian, and I say it proudly. We should be Christian nationalists. And when Republicans learn to represent most of the people that vote for them, then we will be the party that continues to grow without having to chase down certain identities or chase down, certain segments of people. We just need to represent Americans.
She's not even trying to dog whistle, saying the quiet part out loud for all to hear. She and her MAGA allies are deliberately moving the Republican Party even closer to Christian fascism than it already is, even openly recognizing that the voter base is comprised of like-minded bigots who would gladly forfeit whatever crumbs of democracy we have left in our country so all of us can be subjected to their nationally unpopular, narrow-minded, closed-off belief system.
And I believe that Republicans need to prove to the American people that we are the party of American nationalism and Christian nationalism. I'm a Christian. I have no problem saying I'm a Christian nationalist. And I think that's an identity that we need to embrace. I'm going to try voting Republican because these people over here make sense. They like everybody. They think our Constitution is for everyone. They don't want to turn your kids gay and have, transgender, and they don't want to kill babies in the womb.
Out of all the sewage we've heard her spew so far, her comments about the Republican Party's policies making sense and being for everybody while saying that the Constitution was made for everyone may just take the cake for being the most ahistorical, out of touch, and ironic things she said. The Republican Party only exists in its current form because it is so inherently exclusionary and hostile towards groups that could challenge the existing power structure, which is exactly why they focus their messaging around culture war issues and demonizing certain communities instead of championing policies that improve the material conditions of their voters.
But the reality is, Dan, we need to protect our kids in school the same way that Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and all politicians are protected, the same way we protect gold and precious jewels, the same way we protect a lot of money. And that's good guys with guns. And we always need to make sure we support our Second Amendment and not disarm legal gun owners simply because a madman with a gun chose to go in and murder people. Murder's been around since the beginning of time, and murder will continue.
Case in point, Marge would rather further enrich the corporations that profit off of our gun violence epidemic and death, that advocate for increased funding for public schools, establishing national mental health programs, common sense gun control laws, and other policies that would tackle the root causes of gun violence. But it's infinitely easier to justify the brutality you inflict on the people you're supposed to be working for when you operate on a different set of facts and live in a completely different reality running parallel to the truth. Now recall one of Marge's most infamous controversies, where she posted this absolutely unhinged, conspiracy-laden message on Facebook in 2018, soaked in anti-Semitism, where she claimed that the wildfires devastating California at the time were caused by, quote, what looked like lasers or blue light beams of light coming from space, or perhaps, quote, beaming the sun's energy back to Earth sparked the fires. She's been dunked on constantly over the years for this, but that clearly hasn't changed her mind about conspiracy theories, especially implicitly anti-Semitic ones. And as she just recently posted this disgusting cryptic tweet to her millions of followers, as hundreds of thousands of people both in and out of her state are experiencing one of, if not the most traumatic experiences of their lives in the aftermath of the recent hurricane, it takes a special type of depravity to exploit a natural disaster for attention like this, but that's who she is. And her ambiguous wording is no mistake either. Deliberately choosing to use they instead of highlighting a certain group plays directly into the systemic bigotry already present in our country and allows the reader to determine who they think the group responsible is. Knowing what we know, Greene is obviously referring to Jewish people as well as the Dems, which is made abundantly clear in this second equally unhinged tweet, suggesting that the Dems, or to Greene, the shadowy forces controlling the Dems, i.e. Jewish people, purposefully directed the hurricane on the path it took as a way to interfere with the upcoming election and punish Republican voters for not voting blue, we suppose. And if that sounds insane, bigoted, and devoid of any truth, you'd be 100% right. But unfortunately, far too many people will take the exact same opposite approach, and Greene knows that all too well. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports, and or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.